The Memorial Day travel rush is officially on.
A lot of people out on the roads right now. AAA says right now is actually one of the worst times to be on the road. So let's show you a live look at our interstates around our area, around the region, as millions of people are hitting the road for the holiday weekend. So on the top left, that is I-4 in Orlando. The upper right is I-75 and I-10 in Columbia County. Then in the lower left corner of your screen, that's I-95 in Jacksonville, and the lower right is I-75 in Atlanta. AAA expects more than 2 million Floridians will drive at least 50 miles over the next few days. And this comes as the average gallon of gas in the state is costing drivers now more than $4.50.
So here's where those gas prices stand at this hour. According to AAA, the national gas average is $4.56 per gallon. And right here in Florida, the average is $4.51 per gallon. And up in Georgia, the average is $4.03 per gallon.
Our Zach Wilcox has been speaking with drivers as they leave the Sunshine State headed to vacation destinations, and they're hoping for some lower gas prices over the border.
Florida drivers who'd made it to this Georgia Welcome Center could sit at these picnic tables, take a load off, and breathe a sigh of relief. Off in the distance, they could see it. A sign for gas for less than $4 a gallon. But for the drivers I talked with, no amount at the gas station was going to keep them from making their Memorial Day treks.
Land Lakes, Florida, and we're going to near Blacksburg, Virginia.
Donald Baird took on that roughly 750-mile journey to return back home and says he overlooked one key detail about the trip timing.
Didn't realize that it was Memorial Day.
Baird says he hasn't noticed too much of a traffic impact just yet, but he has noticed an impact at the pump.
I mean, you got to get around, so if you're not broke, you just have to do it.
AAA reports the average fill-up is costing drivers $22 more per tank than it did last Memorial Day. But like Baird, it hasn't kept them off the road.
What we're seeing is people adjusting the way they travel. So maybe taking shorter road trips, traveling for fewer days, or just expecting to budget more for gasoline and cutting back on what they're willing to spend on their hotel and spending less on shopping and dining out.
We're going to a wedding. We weren't going to let the prices keep us from coming. So
drivers could opt to strategize their long trips, especially around the Florida-Georgia line. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp waived the state's 33-cent gas tax through the end of May, so drivers may notice a shocking difference at the state border. The average price in Nassau County, for example, is $4.58, but in Camden County, just over the border, it's 60 cents lower on average at $3.98. But Baird says he'll just fill up when he needs to and not stress over it on an already long drive.
Just get it done.
The other thing Florida drivers should be aware of is that Florida has an emergency order in place to extend winter blend gas for gas stations. And while AAA reports that could save drivers anywhere from 10 to 30 cents per gallon over summer blend, the components in it evaporate a bit faster, so you may not make it quite as far on your typical fill-up. But hey, at least prices aren't any higher than they already are at the pump. At the Florida-Georgia border, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.